And Nick Henley is the co-founder of Cohabitas, which finds spare rooms specifically for the over 40s. He joins me now. Good morning to you, Nick.
Good morning, Sadie.
Thanks for joining us. What inspired you to start up Cohabitas? How does it work?
Well, no, it's very much a personal story, as many of these things are, really. Some years ago, I was just over 50, started looking for a room myself, found it really difficult to find a room at all, really, that would be interested in a sort of middle-aged man. Then, lack of rooms, lack of other things. I ended up with friends, basically, for a short while, so that was quite difficult. Secondly, upon the death of my father, my mother was left on her own, late 70s, just very lonely. And I thought it was so silly that so many people live on their own, because I ended up living on my own as well. And frankly, just didn't enjoy it. So I suppose I approached it from the point of view that, living with other people is generally more fun and better for you, and started looking into it.
Looking into it and thinking it is quite different from actually doing it. I mean, how did you put it together? Because I agree with you. I think generally, 99.9% of us are lovely. You only hear about the 0.01% of people who are horrible. So, you may be worried inviting a stranger into your home, but generally people are nice. So how did you go about putting it together?
As a service, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had the idea that thought, you know what, there's so many more people in this situation. I don't know if you know the stats, but 30% of people live in single person dwellings, and that's quite a lot. It's risen so much in the last 20 years or so. And also, I think Matt alluded to this earlier, I was listening in, that the age group who are increasingly living alone are aged over 40. It's 40 to 70, and they're not. They don't need special care. We've talked about special services there. But there's an increasing number of people who, suffer quite difficult financial situations. They're forced to live on their own because it's so expensive living on your own, and look for somewhere. So I did it with a work speaker. We both had the same situation with our parents, and both actually lived on our own at that time. And we just looked into it and then started to realise that there's so many benefits from sharing. I think we talked about some of them. Companionship is a main one. Security, if you're older or feel vulnerable, of course, is really important. But the big one, I think, really is financial, because if you spend so much of your money on a single person dwelling and you don't like it, a lot of people who love that, but if you don't like it, then it really restricts your life. You can't really afford to go out. You can't do things. So that's why I think it's a really good idea. And I think the way things are headed, it's going to become more and more popular.
I'm sure you're right. It's a win-win situation, it sounds to me. Nick, thank you very much indeed. So check them out, Cohabitas, and you can find a spare room specifically for the over 40s. And I think it's right. A lot of people maybe go through divorce and suddenly they're out of the marital home, and they're sort of thinking, but I don't want to take a flat on my own, and I'm so used to living with someone or a family or whatever. Seems a really good idea. Really does. Would you open up your spare room and take someone in and take up a lodger? Get money for it. 0800 111 40 41.